Today, we're going to break down the core philosophy from the wealth habit loop into a simple, really powerful framework that you can start using right away. So let's just dive right in.
So, let's kick things off with a huge question, one I'm pretty sure we've all asked ourselves at some point. Is building wealth really just about luck? Being in the right place at the right time or coming from the right background?
Well, according to this book, the answer to that is a hard no. That whole idea that luck or some innate talent are the only things that matter, it's just completely outdated. The book's foreword puts it perfectly. Financial success is no longer built by luck, it is built by habits. Think about what that really means. It means success isn't some random thing that just happens to us. It's something we actively build, piece by piece, with what we do every single day. And you know what? That means we're the ones in control.
And that leads us straight to the first big secret, the incredible power of compounding. And we're not just talking about money here, not yet. We're talking about how our smallest, most consistent daily actions quietly build on each other to create massive results over time.
So this means we have to completely shift our focus. Forget about the lottery win, forget about that one huge stock pick. Real, lasting wealth is almost never built in some sudden leap. It's built quietly, step by step, day in and day out. It's a total marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, let's bring this down to earth with an example from the book. Imagine starting a really small habit, something that feels almost insignificant, saving just 1,000 naira every single day. It kind of feels like nothing, right?
But check this out. That tiny, almost invisible daily action, it quietly adds up. After just 1 year, that simple habit becomes 365,000 naira. And this is right where things start to get really interesting. Because that number you see right there, that's just the basic addition. That's before the real magic kicks in. It doesn't even account for the exponential power of compounding growth. What happens when you invest that money and it starts working for you? Now that is the compounding secret.
So if habits are the absolute key, how do they actually work? How do we build them? Well, that brings us to our next section, mastering the habit loop. This is the 3-step engine that drives literally everything we do.
The book breaks it down like this, and it's all backed by neuroscience, by the way. Every single habit you have, good, bad, whatever, it follows this predictable 3-part cycle in your brain. It's not random. It's a system that your brain runs on autopilot.
And here are those 3 steps. First up, there's a trigger, or a cue. This is the signal that kicks things off, like your phone buzzing or your paycheck hitting your account. Second, there's the routine. That's the action itself, what you actually do. And third, you have the reward, which is the benefit you get that tells your brain, hey, that was good, let's do it again.
Now, this is where it gets really powerful. Just look at how this same exact structure can create 2 completely different results. On the left, you've got a destructive loop. The trigger is an online sale, the routine is impulse buying, and the reward is this fleeting rush of excitement. But on the right, you have a constructive loop. The paycheck arrives, the routine is an automatic transfer to savings, and the reward is a genuine, lasting sense of security. The whole game is to consciously design more of the loops on the right.
But just knowing the mechanics of habits isn't the whole story. The book makes a huge point that your actions are always built on the foundation of what you believe. And this brings us to a super crucial topic, winning the mental game.
So often, we're held back by these invisible scripts that just run on a loop in our heads. Things like, I'm just not a money person, or I'll never be wealthy. Be honest, do any of these sound a little familiar? These thoughts can totally sabotage our best efforts before we even get started.
And here's the key, and it's so important. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. The very first step is just to become aware of these beliefs. You have to see them. Once you see them for what they are, then you can start to question them and replace them.
Okay, so we've got the power of compounding, we understand the mechanics of the habit loop, and we're working on our mindset. Now it's time for the final piece of the puzzle, putting it all together to make it effortless. It's time to put wealth on autopilot.
This table just shows the difference so clearly. On the left, you've got manual habits. These rely on willpower. And let's be real, willpower runs out. But on the right, that's where you build systems that run on autopilot. So instead of remembering to save, the money just moves itself. Instead of stressing about when to invest, it just happens. This is how you make good habits actually stick and scale.
At the end of the day, the goal is this. You want to set up your financial life so that doing the right thing is the easiest thing to do. Automation turns building wealth into your default setting. It truly becomes the path of least resistance. And that brings us to the end of this breakdown. But really, it's the beginning for you. We've gone through the framework. We've seen that wealth is built by the habits you design, not by luck. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Looking at that habit loop, that trigger, routine, and reward, what is the one small constructive habit that you are going to start designing today?